Eric, Kent police now have 2 people in custody in relation to this. Officers say they were initially called about a stolen vehicle, then followed the suspects who stole another car, split up, and led police on 2 separate chases. A pair of suspects running from police captured after stealing cars and crashing into other cars on the road. Matthew Harner was stopped at 192nd and 140th in Kent when he noticed a red SUV flying around the corner up behind him, then saw the driver carjack a woman in front of him.
I just thought he was drunk, but then he hopped out, started threatening her, was able to get her out of the vehicle. As he hopped into hers, the cops were coming up from 192nd, it says there, and he took off on 140th, and they followed.
Police eventually caught up with the suspect near Petrovisky Road and 231st.
All of a sudden, I look at my rearview mirror, and I see an older Subaru Forester coming at me, probably going 80, 90 miles an hour.
Witnesses say they tried to get out of the way as the suspect came barreling by, trying to get away from police.
All of a sudden, I see him hitting another Hyundai Tucson, and then all the cops there's probably 6 or 7 cop cars just forming up there, some just getting there, and all of a sudden they were getting out of their cars and drew guns on him.
About 6 miles away, near Southeast 200th Street and 148th Avenue Southeast, another driver was hit by another suspect also trying to get away.
Swerve out of the way and then swerve into the ditch and roll over a few times.
The suspect vehicle losing control, ending up upside down in this yard. We spoke with a neighbor here who said a woman ran from the vehicle, frantically banging on his back door for help, but begged him not to call the police. Authorities say they found the woman along the nearby creek.
When the helicopter came by, they were shouting out instructions for people that could hear them to, if they saw somebody, to call 911.
And so far, we have not heard of anyone being seriously injured in relation to this. But as you can imagine, a very scary situation for those drivers and witnesses trying to get away while this was all happening. Reporting live in Kent, Lynn Wynn, KOMO News.
Yeah, Eric, Diaz's office had previously suggested that property crime was down in 2023. But today, in the first Seattle Council Public Safety Committee meeting of the year, he said, quoting now, that was not an accurate reflection of the situation. There was a difference between data and anecdotal evidence.
Property crime is not down. I mean, we had a huge rash of burglaries.
Eugene Wasserman is with the North Seattle Industrial Association.
No one reports to the police anymore. Property crimes, most people just don't bother. It's not worth the energy.
There's a ticking time bomb here.
He testified before the Seattle City Council's Public Safety Committee that despite the numbers that show property crime down in 2023, business owners remain under siege from burglars, and the fentanyl crisis is fuel for it all.
It's not always an accurate reflection of our overall crime.
Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz admitting to the council property crime is worse than his department previously reported.
We know we had more officers to be able to take reports, but not sure if those numbers were accurate prior to 2020 either.
So they may not have been accurate for years.
They might not have been accurate for years.
Do you have the capacity and staffing to have foot patrols on a regular basis?
No.
Diaz making the argument that his department needs officers, that has shrunk as the city has grown, and that the council needs a new police guild labor contract with raises to actually attract new recruits. Do you believe that Seattle is safe?
You know, that's a good question. I'm trying every single day to making sure that we're addressing overall crime.
The mayor wouldn't have done a hiring freeze if business was good. This is a city that depends on business to pay the taxes. This is not Portland where there's an income tax. Businesses leave or don't come.
Wasserman believes the council should make evidence-based decisions to change the trajectory on the ground level. Diaz did say his office will be rolling out a new online reporting system for property crime by the end of the first quarter of this year. You'll also remember that the city rolled out a big incentive program to attract new police officers, but it really has not made a dent in the overall staffing because Diaz says the police guild has been working without a new contract for at least 3 years. There was also some news today made in that committee meeting by the Seattle Fire Department. We'll share that story with you coming up tonight at 6. But for now, live in Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, KOMO News.